Honestly, I don't know how to start these videos.
Speak louder.
I literally wasn't even starting yet, so mind your business.
Yeah, you were. You're gonna totally use that clip.
No, but I wasn't ready. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and today I am going to share with you guys my experience working at Zara. I worked at Zara from 2016 to around, I don't know, maybe it was around 2018. I worked there for like 2.5 years, so it was almost like 3 years. Yeah, let's get started from the beginning. I first saw the posting for Zara, Scarborough Town Center, that was opening. So I lived at the time like 15 minutes away by bus. So I was like, great, I need a job that's really close to me. I was in school studying, so I needed like a part-time job to make some extra income, you know what I'm saying? I applied, and what had happened was that there was a group interview happening at Queen Street East location downtown. So I went, you just sign an application, and you just go. So what happened was you go in, you're in a room, I think like with 7 or 8 other people. I think one of the representatives of HR. They're asking all the questions, and then you just like popcorn your answers. I wanted to show off my intelligence and knowledge and what I could bring to the table to Zara. And I was at the time thinking Zara was this like bougie retail store, and I was really excited to work in it. And I actually genuinely liked their fashion as well. Showed my charisma, my skills and talents. It's really not that big a deal. But I answered all the questions first. That goes over. So once I got the email saying I got the job, I was like literally losing it. Literally running around my house and like looking back at it, I'm like I was way too excited. They sent me an email of the schedule, and what they had done, Scarborough Town Center wasn't opening Zara there yet. They were still under construction. So what they did was they emailed all the employees that got hired and I guess shipped them out to a closer Zara location that they were living by. So I was closest to Fairview Mall. So my first day working at Fairview was I felt like I was being thrown into the fire. Throwing me on the floor, I don't know what I'm doing. So I sort of just went with the flow. So basically they just told me to maintain it, fold back clothes, and like fix the shelves and whatever, because people are very messy. Oh, okay, so one of the difficult things of working on the floor is that, and you're just new to the store, you're not really familiar with the product. So when a customer comes up to you and they're like, oh, I found this on the shelf, or I found this on the floor, I was wondering if I can get another size. I'm just like, I don't know. So a lot of the times I would have to ask my manager or a supervisor that was on the floor, and like, you know, I would constantly be depending on them to help me out with certain stuff. So another task that I was being trained for at Fairview was stock. A lot of the times I was in stock, and I would love to be in stock just because I didn't have to deal with people. A lot of the tasks I had to do in stock was to organize things. Sometimes a lot of clothes would come to the back, like for extra stock. The main thing was replenishment, and this was called 25. I still to this day am not sure what 25 was. I thought it was like the ideal, I guess, quantity to have to pull within an hour to replenish your floor was 25 items. I don't know. But this 25 replenishment system was to basically replenish the floor of whenever someone buys something off the floor, you just put back the other size. So at the time, my manager at Fairview was freaking rude, I remember. But we had to use an iPod. What the system is with 25 is that it's split into stuff that are folded and stuff that are hanging. And then there's like shoes, accessories, whatever. He had me partner with someone else to split the folded stuff and the hanging stuff, just to get us started. So I had to do, I guess, the first half. I don't even remember. Maybe it was like the folded stuff, around like 30 or I don't know. I don't even remember the quantity. This is literally like one of my first times in the stock room, so I'm not too sure where things are. A lot of times I have to ask the other employees that have been working there previously within an hour, and then they like, I guess, report it back to the store statistics. So I pulled out like, you know, like maybe 80-90% of the things. And then I had to show my manager after. So I report back to him and I give him like a pile of clothes. I'm like, oh, I pulled these out. And then he's like, that's it? And I'm just like, I guess. And he's like, show me your iPod. And I'm like, okay. And then he was scrolling through it and he's just like, why didn't you set up the way I told you to set it up? No. And he was like angry, and he's just like, you know what, I can pull these out all by myself in a matter of an hour and pull even more than you did. In my head I'm like, it's my first day, I don't know what anything is. So I'm just like, okay, I'm just just working minimum wage or in retail, so whatever. So that wasn't a really pleasant experience, but you gotta do what you gotta do for minimum wage. Another thing they trained us for at Fairview was for fitting room. I remember Fairview's fitting room was like literally this tiny, and I had to like learn how to fold like shirts, and like, you have to do so many things to fold a shirt, and I just remember the pattern. I'm just like, whatever. So the maximum clothes you can bring in is 6, and only 1 person per fitting room, just for loss prevention purposes. And then I was pretty used to that. I'm just like, whatever, I'm just standing here all day, just, you know, how many items do you have? You have to walk into the fitting room. So yeah, like training was like whatever at Fairview. I met a lot of nice people and still sort of friends with them till this day. And then once our store opened at Scarborough, I was excited because I'm like, I don't have to travel all the way to Fairview. Sometimes the shifts are like 7 a.m. I remember getting yelled at because I came in at 7 a.m. and I'm like, okay, just wait a second, I'm going, I'm here. I remember when we first opened, we were helping with the opening of the store, so we had to set up a lot of the clothes, move around a lot of stuff, and they also took in our measurements for our uniform. Uniform was another thing. We go through, I think, seasonal uniforms. 1 winter, 1 spring, and then they change it up a lot. A lot of the things I still have, not gonna lie, but I don't really even wear it because it's like, it's kind of gross. But the very, very first uniform, I think I have a picture of it here. I don't know, we'll see. But the very first uniform, I was excited. I'm like, oh, they're giving us a blazer, a nice collared shirt, nice shoes, and I'm like, ooh, I feel fancy. Yeah, they were really strict with uniform. Like they told us, oh, you need to wear the blazer, you need to wear the shirt with the tie, like the whole ensemble. Like I've heard stories where people come in without their tie and they're like getting in trouble for not wearing a tie. Like, it's okay, your customer's not gonna yell at you for not wearing a tie. And do not wear white socks. Do not wear white socks. They do stain your socks. These uniform shoes do stain your socks. Do not wear white socks. It's horrible. All my white socks are still stained to this day. Amancio Ortega, you need to fix this uniform because I am coming for you and it's not gonna be pretty. You're a billionaire, so you need to step it up. When we first started, we actually opened before we were actually supposed to open. I guess it was like some sort of business strategy. I don't know. It worked because like a lot of people were coming in. They're like, oh, you guys are open. I'm like, oh yeah, walk in, we're here. I don't know, buy something. But there was some sort of controversy. Well, there was a controversy that took place. There was this racist controversy that was happening in the women's department. I'm not sure if you guys know, 9249 shout out. But there was this thing, I don't know if you guys remember, one of the employees were called out because her hair was inappropriate and it was getting a lot of buzz. A lot of people were sending me stuff, they're like, your store is racist, blah blah blah. I'm like, I don't know how to start, but I do work here. But yeah, she was all over the news, but I feel like maybe it was a conspiracy of like getting more business, I don't know. Maybe you guys have your own opinions about it, but it just like putting one and one together right when we open, I don't know, it's some sort of hype scheme. Beats me, I don't know, but that's not acceptable at all. I've been working there for a couple years, and from there and out, I was like starting in stock. I was really fast at pulling out items to replenish. I was really organized and folding things nicely, whatever. And then I slowly got to be scheduled more on the floor. I gained a lot of confidence working on the floor, just with interacting with other people, problem solving at the same time. Like every now and then I get to style people. It's like a rare occasion. But most of the time you're servicing people. This is like a minimum wage job. People are just in and out to get a t-shirt or like get another size from the back, and it's just like you don't really get to style. So I don't know why people like to put Zara stylist in their bio, because you're literally a sales associate and you just service people. So that's the tea on that. So yeah, I was put more on the floor, and at some point I was asked to be called a signer. So what signers are, it's not really a promotion, but you do have an extra responsibility to do an extra task on the floor. Essentially, signers are people that authorize refunds. Let's say a customer comes in, they need to do a refund on something. Let's say it's like a debit transaction. They would have to use the Moneris machine to punch it in to process the refund, but they would need this thing called the admin card to authorize the debit machine to authorize the refund. For some sort of loss prevention purposes, they're very secure with their transactions, I don't know. At the same time, you need like a manager's code to like unlock this. There's a lot of steps and layers to this, but they have employees that are trusted enough to be held accountable for authorizations and putting in pins and all this stuff. They also have to check for damages, you know, double check the items if it's, you know, good enough for a refund. Like when I was asked to be a signer, I thought it was like an exciting experience. I was just like, oh my god, I'm getting promoted. But like, you know, the first couple of weeks, it was just like, I have a manager's pin, I got this card, it was like some sort of accessory that only I had, so I looked like official just walking around with it. Well, I'm just like, it can get really busy sometimes, and you come across a lot of people that are rude, and they're nice, but there are a lot of rude people. It's like, hello, I'm trying to return this $5 t-shirt. I'm just like, there's stains all over it. I'm not returning this, hello. It's gross. But yeah, signing is fun. But it got to a point where it was just like tiring. Sometimes other departments like women's and kids would have to also call a signer if there's no other signer available. So I'd be like jumping to department, dealing with other stuff, and I'm just like back on the floor and just like all over the place. I was just like, too much. It was like a fun experience. It kept me busy, kept me sweating. And then I also did a bit of visual merchandising. Once it got to like the, you know, year and a half stuff, I'm just like tired. I'm just doing the same thing. It's very routine. I want something more. And thank God, shout out to my manager. He really pushed me to, you know, do more, fulfill what I kind of was looking for in this retail job. Other than like being on the floor, being in stock, or signing, I was like also visual merchandising the store sometimes. I'll give myself credit for it because I actually did it. So I would like come in like at 7 a.m., deal with like the displays, there's like a lot of different displays. There are new clothes coming in twice a week. So it's a lot of clothes we have to deal with. HR sends us photos of each collection, and we sort of have to like make with what we have. Sometimes there are main pieces that we have to choose. I don't know, it's like a lot of thinking and like knowing your inventory. But yeah, it was like a lot of fun to do. Oh, the truck shifts. Let me tell you about the truck shifts. I'm kind of PTSD on these. I forgot what days they were. I think they were Mondays and Thursdays? I don't know. They happen twice a week, but these shifts are at 7 a.m. They are fast-paced. So truck shifts are like new shipments of like clothes. So in the morning we would have to like drag these boxes, or like they're on like racks and stuff. We have to drag them to our department. They all come wrapped or like on hangers, so we have to be really fast of like processing all of them. We have to price tag everything and like change the plastic hangers to wooden hangers. It's just like a lot of work. I felt like I was a robot just like... But yeah, truck shifts are tiring, but at the same time it was good because you start early, you end early, and you're out of there. See ya, I'm gonna go see my friends. Oh yeah, I should talk about the sales! The sales. So I remember working Boxing Day and Black Friday were literally very traumatic. I think it was Boxing Day. It was my first, like I think it was our first sale ever. I remember walking in and I felt like I was in a concert. There was too many people. All the clothes were off the shelves on the floor. I don't know why people are just like rummaging through this. People are going crazy for 20% off. 20% off. Fights were happening, lineups, too much. Not acceptable. No one likes to close because you gotta clean up all that afterwards. So, not deal with that. Literally all the clothes would be on the floor. People would like to make forts with the clothes and the backpacks and the shoes and like to make a fort out of it. And then we have to clean it up afterwards. Fun! It's not fun. No. The only thing is you get first dibs on stuff. You can put your employee discount on top of sales, so you're literally stealing. Also, I just remembered, I literally did every position possible except for managing, and when we go there. On the floor, stock, merchandising, signing, and I was on cash. Yes, I was on cash. And I remember this one day, someone wanted to make a refund for shoes, and it was just about to go on my break, so I'm just all, let's just do this one guy. He was complaining that there were two different sizes, like one size was bigger than the other. So I was just like, okay. He just wanted to match the sizes. So I checked my inventory of this style of shoe, on the iPod, it'll tell you all your inventory of the store. I scanned it. It said we didn't have any more of the sizes that he was looking for. So he got angry. He's like,
"Oh, why didn't you guys check in the first place?"
In my head, I'm like, did you not try them on? Like, did one foot feel tighter than the other? I don't know. But it was beyond me at this point. I was just like, he's being rude. So I told him nicely. I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like, I don't have this size on the floor, but I can check maybe our mix and match shoes in the back to see if we have another pair of your size. Conveniently saw someone from stock coming in, and I'm like, hey, can you check if we have this size on in the back? He went to go check, and then he came back saying we didn't have any. So I'm like, I'm so sorry, we don't have it in the back. If anything, I'll process the refund for you, or I can order it online. Like, I was literally naming all the possible options this guy can do. And he's like,
"No, why can't you check physically on the floor?"
and I'm like, well, this it's telling us all of our inventory, and like, there's not much more I can do other than do a refund for you. I don't know why you need a Zara shoe when Browse is literally across our store. But I don't know. And he was playing the race card, calling me racist because I'm like, no. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to be eating my lunch right now. So I call my manager. I'm just like, hello, I need you to deal with this. I'm hungry, gotta go. Manager's dealing with it. I'm on my lunch. 15 minutes into my lunch, she comes in through the back door and she's just like,
did you even check on the floor if you had it?
and I'm like, no, because he's rude. He's like, yeah, you actually did have a pair on the floor. And I'm like, whatever. And then she's just like, yeah, he was playing the race card and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, I don't want to deal with it anymore. I'm on my break. See ya. But like, all in all, like, if you're rude, I just don't want to deal with it. You know, you end up finding the shoe on the floor, so it's like, but all in all, my experience was, it was good. It wasn't bad. Zara is a lot of work. It is minimum wage, so don't be complaining coming to work being like, oh, no. I'm like, yes, I understand, it's 7 a.m., but like, you're here to work, it's minimum wage, it's actually a decent job. But no, like, working in fashion, at Zara in particular, was a growing experience for me, especially if you're very introverted. You get to be interacting with a lot of people. I've definitely grown since then, I would say. Definitely the environment you're working in, whether it be your coworkers or your managers, are definitely gonna affect your, I guess, work ethics. Because like, if you're in a group of great people, great management, you're obviously gonna perform better. I did experience a shift in the work etiquette from my co-workers when management changed. Everyone just like was not cooperative, which is dumb. Like, manager is manager, but like, do your job. But yeah, I would say, like, you know, working in fashion, it's fun. You get to see new things that are coming out quite often. The store is constantly changing. My advice to someone that wants to work at Zara, it is a lot of work. Do the best to your abilities, and you have a lot of potential to grow, whether it be within the company or within yourself. I think that a lot of the skills you will develop for yourself will be able to transfer into other places. Like with me, I've made Zara a very valuable thing on my resume, applying to other jobs past graduation. So I was able to put on my resume, like, I did this, I did the floor, I did visual merchandising, I was supervising, I was authorizing refunds, yada yada yada. If you're a person that likes to just, you know, just like in the fitting room, just chatting, all you're gonna put is, I worked at Zara, which is, you know, whatever, but like, it's more valuable than someone that's working and trying their best, and you know, you want to be able to be a team player because it is a team effort, right? I mean, yeah, that's quite my experience in a nutshell, condensed into, I don't know how many minutes this video is, but yeah, there was not even that much drama. Oh, I know one, but I won't talk about it, so yeah. So that is my experience working at Zara. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Give me more suggestions down in the comments below. I'd love to see what you guys want me to do next. I post every week. I'm gonna try and post every week. Let's try every Wednesday. I'm gonna get this up by Wednesday. Bye!